Hello, and welcome to another developer stream here at World of Tanks Modern Armor. How you doing, Mr. Bam?
Wonderful. Tankz0rz is too bad we're not in the office today, doing another live stream together in person on this lovely high 79 degrees here in the Chicagoland area.
Ooh, I think it's warmer where you're at than where I'm at.
Oh, is it?
So yeah, I mean it's mid 70s. Yeah, it's feeling warmer. It's feeling warmer. How you liking the warm weather, Mr. Bam?
Oh, I'm loving it. I got my fan running, though, and the window's open. Might be time to get the AC going pretty soon here, I think. Not only do we have sunshine, but it is also the start of the cicada apocalypse here.
Oh, no.
And, yeah, Brood 13, I believe, is what we're getting in the area. And they're starting to climb all over the trees on the side of my house. I was walking around, accidentally crunched on a few of them, just walking to the garage. But it's going to be interesting in the next coming weeks here.
Yeah.
So weather is sunny and cicada-y.
I haven't heard them yet, but I'm sure they'll be on their way out by me as well. So I'll keep.
I don't know if they'll be noisy.
Oh,
I don't know if this is like a noisy kind, and maybe it's still too early.
Okay.
They're not making noises yet. It might not be quite that moment, you know.
I'll keep you guys updated, though. I'm sure they'll be everywhere here. But Bam, we're here to talk about everything tanks and tanks related. So why don't we go ahead and spin up with our news for the day?
Absolutely. Well, you guys probably know it and have a feeling that the season of the Tigers is coming to a close. This is your final weekend to wrap up and get to that level 100 reward for the Tigers season itself. So you guys haven't done so already. Yes, something new is coming this Tuesday, and we'll get to that very shortly. And I do apologize. Yes, there will be a new map. I usually have a habit of announcing or hinting, of a new inbound map, and I missed the beat on that. But we will talk about new content. Yes, a new map. A returning map, I should state, and all the new season bells and whistles very shortly. But before we get into that kind of content, let's talk about what came out just this past Tuesday here. So it's trade-in time. You know it, you love it, and we've added some new tanks to both of the lists. You can trade in tanks like the WoT, the Su-152 Tehran, the Weasel, and various other tanks, and you can trade those tanks in to get the Concept 1B, the T-95 FV-4201 Chieftain, T-55A, and so much more. And for those of you asking why certain nations get more on offer than others during these events, well, that's just simply due to the amount of tanks, each nation actually has. So the more tanks, the more that we can actually put into the trade-up list.
Makes sense, right? Seems like the maths out that way.
The math is mathing well.
Mm-hmm.
Up next, we have the Perfect 10 challenge that has started. Can you master the art of destroying vehicles? I mean, what do you guys do best in tanks, right? For every 10 tanks that you destroy each day, will net you an extra 1,000 XP. So a nice little bump.
And we also have Armed Forces Day, which is May 18th.
Tomorrow.
That is tomorrow. Celebration and contributions both of past and present for those who have served in the United States Armed Forces. So you go ahead and check your store. You'll find a bundle there with emblems and little nice things for this day.
Awesome.
That about wraps it up for what we have in store for you, or had in store for you guys this week. What is going on for next week? I see everyone hyped up. They want to know more about next week, Bam.
They know it. What's the next tanks in the new season? What's coming? What's happening? What new content? We have a lot to share here, and Tankz0rz, I think we have a little bit of something to show for the players.
Do we?
I hope you do.
Yeah.
I thought we did.
You know it. I know. We all know it. We got to roll the tapes, everyone.
Roll the tapes.
This is Spirit 1-6. It's set to move in. Stay close together, boys. Let's give them a taste of real steel. Secure our position to show them what we believe in, Patriots.
There you have it. What does everyone think? Liberty Falls, Liberty Falls. I see a new commander here. Mr. Bam, what do you think?
General Patton himself kind of judging me and how we're going to run the stream today here. Welcome, everybody, to the Patriots season. Yes, this will be starting on Tuesday. So very exciting news. And yeah, you guys saw a lot of the content and announcements. And yes, new map, new tanks, level 120, a season that goes up to 120 levels. We'll cover all that, of course, plus giveaways and so much more. Hopefully you guys are excited. Yes. So let's cover the details. Let's just dive right in. All right, so in the new Patriots season, here's what you can look forward to. In the free season pass, the level 100 reward can get you an old returning premium tank, the HMH ISU-130, the Tier 8 Soviet tank destroyer. Here we have it on screen now. And then in the 2K Gold Season Pass, multiple tanks that you can earn in this one, plus many other rewards along the way. That includes, at the level 25, the Tier 7 French Light AMX Chaffee. At the level 75 season reward, you can get yourselves the returning Motherland tank, the Tier 8 Soviet Medium. And then the brand new, the Era 3 Independent Heavy K1, the level 100 reward for the 2000 Gold Season Pass. Here we have it on screen now.
That looks like it's going to be a BAM favorite here, isn't it?
It is right up my alley. It's very akin to the Abrams itself. In fact, there's quite a few details I can give on this tank right now. So yeah, the K1, this is the first Era 3 independent premium tank and introduces a new nation into the Cold War game mode ecosystem. South Korea. All around good firepower and mobility that one might expect from a main battle tank in Cold War. While similar to an Abrams, near and dear to my heart, of course, there is one notable difference. It's hydro-pneumatic suspension. While this tank has already 9 degrees of gun depression under normal use, it gains an additional 10 degrees of depression for a total of 19. This allows for the tank to use hills and ridges much more effectively than almost any other tank. So yes, it's an auto siege mechanic, but I stress that this is almost not noticeable in the gameplay. It's I can't recall at what kilometer per hour it transitions into its siege mode. It's pretty low, but with the higher speeds in Cold War mode, it's not very noticeable, and you can get in really quickly just between high speed momentum to just staying still and taking some good long range, low depression aim in the siege mode as well. It's pretty fantastic. And not to mention the new K1 swap skin as well. That is a unique level 120 season pass reward addition that you can get and apply onto the K1 tank itself. Oh, actually, just a note, that's actually, you don't need to purchase the season pass to earn that skin. Got a quick little note on that one.
Awesome.
And then last but not least, we have to cover the Ultimate Season Pass for the Patriots season. In this 6,000 gold Ultimate Pass, the brand new Tier 9 American TD TS60.
Here we are. We had a little sneak peek of it with General Patton in the background there.
Yeah. So this TS60 is a turreted assault tank destroyer designed to provide close range support on the front line. Its playstyle is a combination of a TD as well as a heavy, but you don't want to get right on the front line with the heavy tanks. But your armor is only frontally strong as it relies on its angles and keeping tanks in front of you. Your side armor is fairly thin, so try to keep enough distance to prevent from being flanked or letting the enemy get too much of a side angle shot. It does have sturdy armor that provides good protection against incoming damage. You'll want to angle your hull and use its side scraping ability to make the most use of its armor. Its flat side armor and rear mounted turret allow it to excel in this position. Its turret armor is most effective when pointed directly at the enemy due to its slopedness of the armor itself. So keep this in mind anytime you're engaging with the enemies. All of this backed by some impressive firepower that is designed to destroy tanks, of course. With a quick reload and 400 alpha damage, this tank will make quick work of any enemies downrange. In addition, we also have the TS60 Devil Dog tank skin. I can't recall. Do we? Yeah, here we go. Thank you, Tankz0rz.
You got it. It's got some cool little decals and little wiggly bits, as like we like to call them here. A little foliage and sandbags. Can't go wrong.
Excellent. And then lastly, we got a sneak peek. You saw him in the trailer. You saw him in my background before I covertly swapped my background image here to the K1. General Patton, 3D Commander, a 3-star hero commander. But yes, he will come with 4 open skill slots when you pick up the Ultimate Season Pass. And no, I saw the comments already. Gunny531, Patton does not have his own unique custom VO.
I love his jacket there. I feel like I could almost smell the leather.
Right. All right. Hey, I promised a giveaway at the start of the stream, did I?
I believe you did, and if you didn't, I think we need to go ahead and fulfill those promises. So why don't we go ahead and open that up here?
All right, punch in the link for the giveaway. Let's do 2 Ultimate Season Passes for the Patriots season to hand out to 2 lucky winners. We'll announce our winners after toward the end of the stream after our Q&As.
Alrighty. Let me go ahead and click on this. I see someone saying that they're not working. I clicked on it right now. It seems to be working. So yeah, keep me updated, see if it's working. I'll see Apache saying it's working.
Shout out Apache.
Excellent. Yeah, go ahead and click on that link. Give us your Wargaming ID, and you'll be eligible for our giveaways. And you said our giveaway is
Ultimate Season Pass for the new Patriots season, starting Tuesday.
Awesome. What a fantastic award here.
Also, got another shout out to announce here. Goliath Games. Welcome. I know you're a usual with us here on the streams, but it's my understanding. Congratulations, you, sir, have hit 100,000 battles in World Tanks Modern Armor. So shout out to you, sir, and congratulations.
Yep. Big shout out to Mr. Goliath.
We don't actually have a shout-outs category this week, but we'll give it just to you. So, Goliath Games, that's a lot of battles.
Oh, the way you beat me to it. That's a lot of battles. Awesome. And keep on playing. Hope to see you hit the 200K soon.
He'll have that done next season. No problem.
No problem.
Okay, while we have that giveaway going, and I might put a reminder once in a while for you Tankz0rz if we can, allow any latecomers that might join the stream, give them an opportunity to join the giveaway as well. Sure. Like I said, we'll announce our winners toward the end. In the meantime, let's cover some of the season update notes, content, map, of course, and other bells and whistles that you guys can expect on Tuesday.
Awesome.
Yes, I said it, I think at the start of the stream, I completely forgot to give you guys a hint for a new map return. Let me roll that back because I want to make it clear. It's not a new map. It's a returning map that is art updated, coming with the Patriots season launch next week. Liberty Falls does make its triumphant return. This will be applicable to tiers 1 through 10, and we will have it. This is a bit of a smaller map, but it will be available in just Era 1 in Cold War. Here we have the radar map up on screen now. This Liberty Falls will host standard battle, team destruction, encounter, as well as assault. And then in custom games, you can also get access to multi-base assault for those of you that are part of the competitive scene. And this is a summer camouflage environment.
Awesome, awesome. I believe another image here.
And there's those majestic falls themselves. Liberty.
Before we dive too much into Liberty Falls here, there's another nice little image here I believe these guys might like. It's a whole wrap up of what the season pass you could expect in this season pass here. So.
And these get posted up onto our portal after the stream too. Am I correct?
Right. It should be
Excellent.
In our articles there as well. So. Yeah, Liberty Falls returns. I saw someone when we rolled the trailer, they said that it's one of their favorite maps, so we're happy to have it back here for you.
Excellent. I remember our super testers, I think, called out an issue on the falls themselves. What was it? Of course, people had to test whether or not going over the falls is possible, and I believe there was some invisible walls at the time. Those have been removed. Don't worry. There is nothing going to block you if you guys want to take the dive, take the leap over the falls. Not recommending it. Lead designer is not telling you guys to do so, but if you need to cool off in a custom games match, that is a possibility. Oh, yeah, you could push people off the waterfall too. Dino sees us. Love your gamer tag, by the way. Liberty walls. No Liberty walls here.
Just falls.
Hold on, Grelsh, don't increase the amount of times for this map in rotation, please. Well, that being said, the map will have an increased frequency. This is a pattern of just what we do at every season launch, or rather anytime we return a map into the game or even debut a new map. Just know it'll be around for about a week or two as we usually do it. All right, up next, we got some Cold War updates to share with you guys. And the article will be live to give you guys all the details and breakdown of this as well. In fact, the first one here, the Cold War shell mechanics updates, I believe we went live with this just yesterday. So if you haven't had a chance to read through all the shell updates, well, I'm here to talk about them in verbatim. So here we go. You know that you have a certain expectations around the gameplay in World Tank's Modern Armor, and we're always looking for ways to adjust the game to meet your standards as well as our own. In this update, we will be slightly adjusting the mechanics of APDS, APFSDS, as well as a APFS SDSDU. That's a mouthful. The ammunition types for Cold War, just for those three. We're using the APDS as a general catch-all term for these shells for brevity, as they will all have the same mechanical-esque changes. So, Due to the standard 70-degree ricochet mechanics of all AP shells, we were seeing a number of unintentional shot traps caused by the armor layouts of many Cold War tanks, the Abrams series being the most noticeable. What this means is that the shell would strike highly angled armor, ricochet off of it, and penetrate another area of the tank, creating a weak spot on the tank that were not intended. So the use of the World War II mechanics that were carried over into Cold War mode was creating this unintended behavior. Okay, so to address this, we have made some gameplay adjustments to the APDS, APFSDS, as well as the longer-term one that I won't read off again. While not exactly analogous to real life, we do seek to remedy the issue and also cause the shells to react in a way somewhat more akin how they would in the real world. So the first change is now the shells will no longer ricochet when they strike at the auto bounce angle. Instead, the penetrator will shatter and continue on its trajectory. Just like a normal ricochet, penetration will not be calculated on hits beyond 70 degrees. This means that it hits at 70 degrees or greater, for all intents and purposes, will be standard non-penetrating hits. This measure is to prevent shot traps, like I mentioned earlier, that should not have been there on certain vehicles in the first place. The second change that we're applying to the shell mechanics, the shell caliber now must be 3.5 times the nominal armor thickness in order to overmatch, as opposed to 3 times, which is typically originally seen on AP and APCR. While APFSDS is understood to be generally more effective against thinner armor, sloped armor in real life than older kinetic energy projectile types, sloped armor on the modern battlefield is still effective and not entirely invalidated by this ammunition type. Double overmatch mechanics have not been affected. And also worth noting, the following tanks that we have in Cold War that were still using World War II shells, just to note that these have been updated to use the Cold War version. And also worth stressing that there is no change made to these shells other than the back-end data. However, this does mean that your ammo loadout will be reset. So if you guys play a lot in the SU-122-54 or the Object 268, highly recommend just check your ammo loadout on those tanks before heading into battle, because the allocation if you want to choose more premium shells or the standard AP shells, they may have been reset for you. And that's the Cold War shell mechanics update. Like I said, that was a lot to read off, probably very hard to follow if I was going a little bit too quick, but we do have the article already live if you want to dig into all the notes yourselves.
Awesome. Yeah, I definitely do encourage everyone to go ahead and give that a quick read for yourself.
Petty, I know my rounds. And fell down a rabbit hole one day. And we're just creating more rabbit holes, aren't we? Okay, we got another Cold War update, and this one's pretty big. This one's going to be of a lot of interest to a lot of players, and we'll talk about it to extents here. We have a Cold War RAM physics damage update to share. Cold War tanks have a massive weight differential between vehicles, which can vary, which cause a lot of very light tanks to sustain very little damage in these type of collisions. Worth noting, this is due to the system being designed for the World War II game mode, which was never designed to handle such a weight disparity between the lightest tanks and the heaviest heavy tanks that we have now in Cold War. We've heard it from you guys, the players in the community. Your feedback has been loud and clear. And we have now changed how the Cold War calculates the RAM damage. So now the extremely light tanks will receive much more RAM damage when they collide with a vehicle that is at least a mass 8 times heavier, greater than its own. And so this is a bit of a wider spread change, but because there's only few tanks in Cold War that are actually 8 times lighter than that of other tanks in Cold War, this actually only impacts 5 Cold War tanks. So you probably want to know which of those light tanks.
Which light tanks are being affected, Mr. Bam?
This will impact the Scorpion 90, the M50 Antos, the FV-101, the FV-107, and the Weasel TOW. It's also worth mentioning the Weasel TOW is the absolute lightest tank that we have in Cold War, much lighter than the other 4 that I have read off. While those other 4 tanks will still receive higher ram damage, there's actually less tanks that are 8 times heavier than those 4 that will actually create that higher damage dealt in the ram itself. The Weasel, on the other hand, has most tanks in Cold War that are at least 8 times heavier. So we understand and know that players have been asking and having concerns with, say, the Weasel and trying to catch them. And we have also talked a little bit about the minimum arm distance potential changes for the missiles themselves in the game. Wanted to stress that this is our first take at trying to improve the gameplay in Cold War itself. So min arm distance changes not coming in this season, and it's still something that we are evaluating. With the RAM changes, we want to see how this impact changes sentiment and positive gameplay when this goes live on Tuesday. So we'll certainly be hearing it from you guys. We'll see how it works out. And just know there's a little bit more risk reward for those players that like to get in for that shotgun fire for the missile. You guys feel free, or I encourage to try to ram and counter those Weasels getting in too close. And then we'll kind of see where we go from there.
Sounds good. Something new for people to check out here, right? Keep their eyes out on.
Ooh, worth mentioning. Actually, more context to provide on this, because I don't know if it was already asked in the chat. I may have missed it. So this is a physics update specific to tank ramming. I know there's also talks and questions come up about when is terrain physics being changed in Cold War, because I know a lot of light tanks can kind of tumble and bounce around off of certain hills and such and survive either unscathed or with minimal damage even at all. That's not coming in this update. Some of our early investigations of what we're doing was taking the approach of a altogether physics change that would adapt into terrain physics and environmental collisions as well as tank collisions. But this had led to less than optimal gameplay for Cold War in general. This made any tank, heavy or light, regardless, a lot harder to survive any given fall. And that is why we didn't want to apply the environmental RAM damage changes, and instead had to make this based on vehicles and their weight disparity difference of other vehicles in the game. Not saying we're not done investigating kind of environmental RAM damage and changes on the physics on that front, but that takes a much deeper investigation and time on our engineering and tech team. So anyway, to wrap up on that, look forward to Cold War RAM damage updates starting on Tuesday.
Awesome.
Okay, we got a lot more to cover here, of course. But before we do, can we do a reminder? We do have an active giveaway today for 2 lucky users to win a Ultimate Season Pass to the new Patriots season. If we can punch that one into the chat there. Here we go.
There you have it. Go ahead and enter that if you haven't already. If you've already entered, you're all set. It's for our Ultimate Season Pass for the new season Patriots. Sorry.
All good. I'm just saying we're going to announce winners toward the end of our stream today. And I think I know a lot of chats going by. When we have very meaty content days for the stream, you can probably tell I don't see a lot of the questions and chat comments go by as much. But why are we talking about adding 10,000 trees per map? I missed some context there. Want more trees? We'll give you more trees. Okay, we got more content to talk about here. We do have a World War II tank balance pass coming on Tuesday as well with the Patriots season debut. Over 90 tanks this round have received major balancing. This includes Chinese, Czech, French, Italian, German, and mercenary nations. that received various stat changes. And some notable ones to throw out there include the Centauro CC 45 ton, the Slapjack, Cruncher, Ferdinand, and about 80 or so more. Simply too many to list right here, but of course, we will have our update notes article posted on Monday, where you guys will have the full definitive list of 90 tanks that are receiving balance updates.
I was expecting to hear you list off the other 80 tanks and, you know, the other half hour that we have here.
I mean, if we want me to, I can ask.
No, it's okay. We won't bore the players.
Do you guys want to hear a lot of tank names?
No, next time.
Next time, okay. Worth noting, our tank design team is still very hard at work. This is kind of a round one of balance passes done to the World War II tanks. Expect more balance passes happening on other nations and more tanks in the future, of course. Okay, we got some UI updates to share with everybody and some screens to share because we'd like to do we try to do more show versus tell. I know I'm just kind of I yab on a lot and just talk too much, but we have some screens to share with you guys. Our UI team and UX have redesigned a lot of the garage menus and game mode menus to kind of clean it up a little bit. In general, style and color updates, so we added some more stylized background elements to help remove, let me back up. A lot of the various stylized background elements that you guys might see in the live game right now are going to be removed on Tuesday and provide a more cleaner looking interface. We are also working on a color unification across all the menus with new subdued color palettes throughout the game's UI.
Clean.
Make it a little bit cleaner. I see
nice.
WG Gita in the chat here. Clean. Yes. So let's start with the game mode menu. This is, of course, the first menu you guys are presented with. Or we can start with the post-battle results screen if that's what we're showing here. So yeah, a lot cleaner here. Just got rid of some of the noise and the background things on each of the panels that used to be there. Worth noting, I know there's still callouts, and we've talked about this in the past as well on the post-battle results screen. A lot of past elements that you guys are still looking forward to. Just note, I have talked with our UX design team, and it's still very much on our radar. But this pass is more of a clean pass and not a full redesign. So up next, now we're looking at the game modes menu. It has received a bit of a new layout. The previous drop-down style, when you guys would select if you wanted to play multiplayer or co-op, you guys might recall, well, I say recall, but you see this in the live game right now, where it would kind of pop out when you choose between Cold War or multiplayer mode. We now have multiplayer and co-op mode always present there, and then you guys can kind of select up and down the list, left and right as you go. With the modes now a static element that is always visible, it should just be much clearer to how the players will navigate and select the mode that they so choose. And then lastly, our garage layout has received quite the snazzy updates. The button layout in the garage was updated by moving some elements. The battle button, as well as the loadout and boosters, have been kind of allocated down there to the bottom now and kind of given a nice little rigid shape there in the middle too, which is fantastic. The loadout button is now there on the right instead of appearing above your tank card in the reel. To make it a little bit more present that this is in fact a menu item and not really lost in the garage background noise. And also just helps clean out the real estate and get you guys more visibility of your tanks in the garage itself. The battle button has been stylized to feel part of the button legend instead of a separate element. And like I said, then up next, yes, the profile screen got a little bit of a cleanup as well. Just note, we are aware that there are still a lot of filter requests and other changes that you guys want to see in the profile screen, including the stats. That is also not part of this season change, but it is still very much on our radars for something to come in the future.
Awesome. I do personally like the olive color. It's more military-esque looking. Looks nice.
There was a bit too much noise and a lot of cruft that's gotten built up in our UI over the years as we build on new systems, and some new systems kind of go in their own direction and their own design in ways, and we try to adopt those designs in different areas of the game as well. The UX team kind of put their heads together and really thought about how do we create something not only just clean, but a better consistency and color palette across the game in more ways than one.
Right. I'm sure as we'll explore next week, there's also probably, some functional ideas that were worked into the design elements there as well. So you can go ahead and look at that and see how you like it.
Absolutely. All right, a few other updates to cover. This one's a small one, but we added some launcher screen tips. When you guys are launching the screen, you guys know when you're getting the new override, you're getting the new patch added to the game, and sometimes, pending your internet speed, it could take a little bit of time. So we have some tips on screen for some in-game help on that such. And then some other updates that are inbound. We have changes to the default selected currency for your ammunition loadout. While sometimes premium is kind of pushed up front, premium ammunition will now default to a silver cost and not gold cost. So in case anyone might inadvertently fire premium rounds and didn't want to fire gold, we are updating that, so now silver will be the default selection for that.
Awesome.
Up next, this is another player and community request item, and I'm going to put myself on the pedestal as an oopsie a little bit. Co-op mode, player damage is no longer reduced, and you guys will now be able to output your full damage RNG rolls. A few months ago, you guys had brought this up in the Q&As of, why in co-op mode is my alpha damage being reduced? I can't hit the top damage that I should be able to roll in the matches. I was inadvertently looking at the wrong data sets. We have something known as the new player efficacy, which allows a bump up and change of the amount of damage that a new player can deal against the bot tanks in co-op, as well as how much damage that those players receive against bots. What I didn't realize is that we have a completely different data set that is also set up for general in co-op mode, that everybody does have kind of a reduced damage. That was part of an old design in which we wanted to keep co-op mode somewhat a little bit of a higher difficulty for veteran players who want to engage in that mode. But over time, we realized, this is something you guys are, what am I trying to say? Co-op mode has already a reduced set amount of earnings for you guys, right? And so when you're not being able to output the maximum amount of damage as you would like, that is also reflective on how much you can earn back. So this is us finally, disabling that damage nerf in co-op mode. You will be able to output and earn a little bit more in co-op mode because of that.
Awesome. So
yeah,
there was accidentally like two things that were reducing essentially the max amount of silver you could get, right? The rewards you could get.
Exactly.
But now it's been resolved, so that's awesome. That's good. Well, appreciate whoever brought that to our attention. So
I was on stream and I said, no, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
In such confidence.
You went and you something in your mind was like, hey, I gotta go take a look. You took a look and then we found something. So awesome. That's
just take some investigation. Actually, Mr. SBG, shout out, who helped dig into it as well.
Cool.
Let's see. And then you guys saw it in the trailer. Yes, more garage gear coming for your custom garage. And I think we have an asset to share or two. Here we go. This feels like you're in a military museum. I love the hanging planes.
You may love the hanging planes, which I do too. But that table, look at that table.
That table's very reminiscent, isn't it?
I love the table.
The table.
And obviously, we have the tank traps, and the flying planes are cool. I used to have little flying planes like that when I was a kid. They like spun around in my ceiling. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, excellent.
Our table. That's right.
Okay, we have a few other events to cover this week, and then we'll dive ourselves right into the Q&As. So new contracts coming on Tuesday. Smoothman and the AMBT will be coming to the contracts tab. So if those are tanks, one, of course, is a mercenary, and the AMBT, just a premium tank. If those are tanks you guys are looking forward to, check out the contracts tab.
Believe that it's pronounced Smooth Man.
We got to add a few O's in there then, huh?
Yeah, a couple more O's.
A loaded psycho going for the AMBT. Excellent.
Addition to the contracts, we also have the on-track, the M48 patent line.
Yes. Like we said, we brought back the on-tracks, and we're shaking them up every season and every few weeks. M48 patent line is up next.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have the Memorial Day weekend events coming. This will be starting May 24th and run through May 28th. Here's some of the bonuses that you guys can expect during Memorial Day weekend. Gold to free XP conversion bonus will be adjusted to 1 and 35. 50% off all garage gear that is available in the custom garage store. And then we have a challenge where you can earn various consumables and garage gear as well, including a flag memorial, various U.S. decor, and a Memorial Day statue, simply by earning 2,000 or more XP in any number of battles, and you'll receive a random drop of garage gear, consumables, and more. And boosters, actually, too. And last but not least, for Memorial Day weekend, there will also be a ×3 daily XP bonus.
Awesome. Awesome.
And that is it. Welcome, everybody, and hope you're excited for the Patriots season coming on Tuesday. And with that takes us over to our Q&As. Before we go into the Q&As, Tankz0rz, can I ask that we put the link into the chat for players if they want to submit questions for us, and we can answer them next week. I'm sure with a new season, new content, and all the new mechanics and features that we talked about, you guys will probably have some burning questions that we will surely answer next week.
You got it. We also have a giveaway going for our Ultimate Season Pass for the new season coming Tuesday. So if you'd like to enter for that, link is in chat. All right, Mr. Bim, are you ready for our Q&As?
Let's knock them out.
All right. First question here is, could we have an event where you have a team of normal tanks versus some giant other type of tank, maybe like, I don't know, P1000 rat. They go on and give some more details here about this this event here, saying maybe you can have multiple barrels manned by the opposing team members, even maybe superior AI, superior wargaming AI. Just some little ideas there.
Definitely fun ideas. In fact, if you guys remember creative director Zots, who was on stream about 2 weeks ago, this is something very exciting and near and dear to his heart, of course. And, we on the design team are always talking about fun, whether it's PvE, PvP event modes, whether it's big or small. We try to think outside of the box where we can. Even our tech designer, who is hard at work and thinking about things that would be great to run in future events. Something that could be a big boss battle, like whether it's an asymmetric kind of PvP where players even get a chance to play as this huge multi-barrel tank with flamethrowers and autocannons, dual barrel like mechanics. You name it. It's a fun idea.
I've always been a fan of the asymmetric game styles. I think they're interesting.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Not saying we're not writing it off, but it's certainly something that we got to figure out how to build the tech and allow for it and make sure, above all, is the event mode fun.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say, have a nice little event mode at the very least here. All right. Next question here is, can we have the ability to pick which camo is displayed on our garage showcase tank? Currently defaults to winter camo.
So my understanding, this actually defaults to the to a random or the last map type that you had played, based on whatever camo that you actually applied onto the tank. However, and Nick G, we have him in the chat as well. So if you want any add any extra flavor or details to it, but we are looking into ways to better personalize your showcase tanks in your custom garage. Simply nothing to announce just yet, but it's great hearing some suggestions like this one from the community.
Yeah, definitely. I always think giving the player the ability to express themselves, being, picking which camo is on your tank. I think it's an awesome option to have.
I'll throw this out here. If I know I've run into this myself, and the winter camo is typically the one I see as well. If you guys are willing, it's going to take some silver, but removing the camo, of course, then it will default to the next one. I take that back because I don't think that's a very player-friendly experience. We'll work on a better solution for that. Let's put it that way.
There you go. Thank you for your suggestion here.
Hold on, just a cone. Take off the limit on my cone so I can use 200. Give this man his cones.
Give this man his cones. Next question here is, can we have more skins for Artie, please?
We are, in fact, planning a new skin for a certain artillery.
Hey, you can't be giving it all away here.
Not giving it, just letting them know.
Just hints, little hints. Okay.
Some artillery vehicle will be getting a skin.
All right, we'll leave
Open
it
to
at
guesses.
That. Does it rhyme with orange? All right, next question here is, can we please get other color options for the aiming rectangle? The orange and red differences is not so clear, and they would like to see something that would represent a bigger difference in gameplay, especially when you're firing from afar. For example, I would rather see colors green for no % chance, yellow for 50% chance, and red for, you should normally penetrate that type of shot.
We talked briefly before on, HUD customizable items, reticle changes, etc. And user accessibility. It's still very much on our radar. No ETA to give at this time, but certainly we'll think on the reticle types and color changes as well.
Sounds good. Next question here is, can the data for Svenigorsk assault assault be looked at? Every time I've had this iteration on the attacking team, it has resulted in a loss. The defender, which is the southeast spawn, funnel to the right, and the attackers spread out into 3 spawns, which seems a little bit too split, and you get outnumbered quickly due to the size of the map. This is from this player's experience. Is there anything that we could do to address this?
Right. Definitely relaying this over to our level design. Something we'll look into. What we will probably do, which actually this reminds me, I got to get a task ticket so we can get this in before next Tuesday's release. We will pull assault mode from Severogorsk in rotation, because yes, to your point, based on our data, we had a chance to look at it. Defender team does have an advantage on this one. So it'll take some time to kind of reevaluate and, correct it, of course. So, but in the meantime, we'll pull it from rotation, not the map, the assault game mode itself on the map, and then reintroduce it maybe in the future.
Next question here is, can we get an update on the speed of progress for, which people are moving into eras in Cold War, a comparison of the before, the after, the silver XP changes, some real data would be appreciated.
I guess I can't give them the hand wavy, like, it's going good, let's move on.
They're asking for numbers, man.
The hard, real data, the real numbers. You know what? No, absolutely. Because it's been a long time coming. Cold War economy changes, as you guys might recall, started at the the release of the Year of the Dragon season back in February. So we are now several months in, and this is something, as you guys as players know, it takes time and battles to progress through any given tank tech tree line to unlock all the tanks. So even after the first few weeks, first couple months, it still wasn't a definitive amount of data for us to say if we're on the right track or not. If you guys might recall, back in the Year of the Dragon season start, when we were talking about the Cold War econ changes, our target was marching toward a 25% less battles to progress for players starting in Era 1 all the way up into Era 3. That was the high-level target of what we were going for. And the reasoning why we had adjusted both the silver and XP costs on all tech tree tanks, as well as the silver urns into the battles themselves. This might take us for the rest of our Q&As today, but we did prepare some screens for you guys to kind of, again, present the hard data and real numbers here for you. So, Tankz0rz, if you may, can we take a look at image number 1 here?
You got it. Buckle up, everyone. It's time for math and graphs. Here we go. Image number 1.
This is going to be a little bit easier to digest than when I was last on stream talking about the Cold War Econ announcement, which was a very deep dive into it. But let's first talk a little bit about new players, right? I do have a little bit of data to share with you guys regarding, of course, the core audience as well. So, again, 25% was the target for all new players to kind of progress from Era 1 to top of Era 3. And just note, every player, you guys included, everyone has their own journey. Whether you go wide and you select many tanks across various different lines, in which your battle count will be a lot higher, versus those that might just go linear down a single line. That means your battle count to progress from Era 1 to 2 to 3 is going to be a lot quicker. So this created a little bit of a difficulty for us to kind of narrow in on how do we exactly extrapolate the progression and change that people have been making here. So anyway, let's talk about the image that we have on screen. Hopefully this is pretty clear for you guys. In the top table here, you can see the progression for new players going through Era 1 to Era 2. Before, it would take about 467 battles, believe it or not, for players to even unlock their first Era 2. With our new changes, it's a 63% faster grind in Era 1 and only 176 battles. Era 2 to Era 3, on the lower end of 1,000 battles before our Year of the Dragon season, is now 19% faster at 852. And then for those new players in Era 3 and getting all the way to the top of Era 3, that has also increased by 18% faster. And then the bottom graph better illustrates that for you guys on a per tier basis in each of the eras as well, to give you guys a sense of the before and after. So let's talk a little bit next about how you guys did. This was the new players, right? How did you guys do? As you guys might recall, in the Year of the Dragon season, we debuted a new Cold War tech tree line, the German Lights and TDs. So, Tankz0rz, can we put up image number 2?
You got it.
Here we go. Now, it's worth noting, some of this data is simulated because battles before, well, let's be honest, the tech tree line didn't exist before the Year of the Dragon season. However, we did apply, shout out to our economy designer who did a lot of work and kind of simulated what the pricing of each of these tanks would have been before the Year of the Dragon season and what it would have taken to unlock each of those. So this is the battles after is the progression that you guys as players were able to make, going all the way from the RU-251 all the way through to the Martyr 1A3. And yes, we are looking at the internal developer names for these tanks, so please forgive the prefixes that you see there in the start. Oh, and also worth noting, these are based on the XP, because each of these tanks assume players have the silver already allotted in order to afford the tanks. And for you guys, again, this is another difficult thing for us to kind of really narrow in whether or not this is very accurate, because a lot of people have huge lump sums of silver that they're able to spend however they so please. So looking at the XP, where you guys have to grind starting from the fresh tech tree tanks, unless you're using a lot of banked free XP, the XP metric was the best way for us to gauge the targets for the battles. Up next, let's take a look at some of your earns. We kind of covered the initial question, but I did want to go a little bit, take a step further to give you guys a little bit more details, including the earn rate changes. So here's the average net earns per era and per tier, and the percent differences. Kind of have that up on screen if you guys want to screenshot that. All right. And then, where did we leave? That's image number 4, right?
Three. You want 4 up?
I just realized 3 and 4 are the same.
Oh, well, we'll show you the same image again. There we go. And
no, okay. Actually, it is only 4 images. So go on to number 5.
Alrighty.
That's my mistake. I gave you 5 images, but it's actually consolidated into 4. So then, also ask our economy designer to take a look. This might be of interest to you guys. What tanks are the highest earners based on data in the last 100 days? The Jaguar, this is in Era 3, of course, at 144,000 on average. As promised, when we talked about the Cold War econ changes way back when, you guys as players were easily making almost 500,000 in some of the battles. But I did stress that it would certainly be possible to get over that 100K mark on really good battles and maybe not firing too many premium rounds, etc. So all this to say, to kind of sum up here, we are meeting our targets and our goals of what we wanted to kind of pivot the Cold War economy for the game itself. We will continue to monitor over time if any further adjustments are warranted, but just know this is kind of the direction that we are headed. And at this time, and even in the new season, there's not going to be any changes to the earn rates or the cost of modules and tanks. Some of the things that we did address, of course, at the start of the Year of the Dragon, there were a few tanks that were incorrectly priced, or their modules were incorrectly priced, which have since been resolved, of course, and a few tanks in which their ammunition costs were a bit too egregious and causing net earns to be negative. That has also since been addressed. What hasn't been addressed is, yes, there is still some other tanks that we have in data and tasked to designers to investigate further on further tweaking of the ammunition costs a little bit more, but they wouldn't be very significant, worth noting. And that's the updates and everything on the Cold War economy changes.
Awesome.
I'm sorry, not changes. That's just the status and what we have in the data right now. Like I said, no changes are coming in the new season. Right. That's just where we are at.
Right. They asked for the numbers. We gave them the numbers, and most importantly, I'm excited for this new season here and everything that comes with it. I know we showed an image here earlier, but a quick sneak peek here of everything that you'll be looking forward to next season. Go ahead and check out our article as well, as there's more information there. Mr. Ban, I think that about wraps it up for us here today.
I think so. Yes, reminder, Patriots season, launching on Tuesday. Look forward to it. And there's still more content and surprises coming in the season that we haven't addressed just yet. So, more to come. However, we're not done just yet, are we, Tankz0rz?
Nope. We have 2 giveaways to give here for our Ultimate Season Pass for the Patriots season. And our winners are... Are you ready? We have,
drum roll, please. I'm ready.
We have BT Express 77. Congratulations, BT Express. Cross your fingers for the next one. Here we go. And our next lucky winner is JHB 79.
Congratulations.
2 users with 70 something in their names. Interesting.
Suspicious.
Suspicious. Either way, congratulations to both of you.
You guys will be receiving the Patriots Ultimate Season Pass when it launches on Tuesday.
We will be streaming on Tuesday for our community stream, so go ahead and check us out there. We'll be playing the live game, you know, the new season. We'll be playing some games with the community. If you'd like to play with us, go ahead. Go ahead and check us out then. Join us. It'll be fun, I promise. It's always fun. Other than that, if you're watching on Twitch, stick around. We're going to go ahead and raid one of our community contributors. If you're watching elsewhere, I wish you a happy weekend, and we'll see you on the battlefield.
Have a great one, everybody.
Take care.
See you in the Patriots season.
Bye-bye.
This is Spirit 1-6. It's set to move in. Stay close together, boys. Let's give them a taste of real steel. Secure our position to show them what we believe in, Patriots.